Goofballs football podcast. We are right in the thick of it here. Week 10 is in the books. And every week here on Goofballs, we talk seriously about football. And frankly, we goof around about everything else. Or even sometimes we silly around, to be honest with you, because our guest has quite a silly pair of glasses on right now. For those of you watching the Zoom, which, by the way, we do have a Zoom link that, or excuse me, a YouTube link that Johnny will promote here at the end of the show. But speaking of which, let me talk to that aforementioned Johnny Schwartzbein, once again back on Goofballs. You have yet to quit the show. How's that going?
So far, so good with not quitting the show. All I have to do is show up every week and start the Zoom and Gesundheit. And, you know, we just keep the Gesundheit. Yeah, I'm riding high this week, you know. Eagles still in first place of the NFC East and just looking to sneak into the playoffs and shock the world like they did in 2017.
Now, you're right. The Eagles are in first place. They have a total of 3 wins, which would make them last in the NFC North, last in the NFC South, last in the NFC West, but not last in any of the AFC divisions. And I think that's something to be proud of.
And to be clear, they haven't beaten a team with a winning record yet. So imagine when they do that, if they do that.
Yeah. The Seattle Seahawks, it could happen. I mean, it probably won't, but and it won't. It won't happen, actually.
You're going to say they're not going to beat a team with a winning record right now on the podcast?
I'm going to say that Carson Wentz is terrible. How about that?
I will bet you the best brand of frozen pizza. One
Slammin' Sicilian.
One Slammin' Sicilian that the Eagles, by the end of the year, will beat one team with a winning record.
I take that bet.
Okay.
Let's see who they have on the schedule here. The
Cleveland, Eagles, Seattle, Green Bay.
Cleveland has a winning record. Seattle has a winning record. Yeah, Green Bay has a winning record. New Orleans has a winning record. Arizona has a winning record. So those are the next 5 games. And then after that, I'm in the clear because then they play the Cowboys and football team. So, well, they just got to get through those 5 games without a win. Speaking of without a win, they faced the Giants this week, and they got a win. It was the Eagles that didn't.
Oh, baby.
We got 50% of Goofballs today as a Giants fan. And I'm going to start with the Attorney General himself. Once again, how does it feel to be 1 tie and 2 losses out of first place?
Kenny, I have a microphone for the first time in my podcasting career. So, yeah, I'm just going to bring this to you. I'm going to keep it quick because I don't want to leave another Giants fan waiting to celebrate Big W potential run with Danny the Jetpack Jones because he's unreliable, but when he's on, he's fast as hell, baby. So, you know,
that's the truth. We said Eli's going, give us as close to him as we can possibly get. That was what we said, and that is what we got. Exactly.
So I'm gonna make like Danny, and we're gonna take that snap, and I'm handing the ball off to Dion Lewis, aka Vic Michaelis. Take it away from here.
Well, that's fitting.
I'm going to start off right now by taking off these glasses because guess what? They're too much for me. I've decided. So I'm going to, we're going to do a quick change here. I don't quite know how to do this. There we go. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to say that I looked down for 2 weeks and I looked back up and the Giants have a W on the board and I was pretty thrilled about that. Did I watch the game? No. Did I then read about it afterwards? Yeah, absolutely I did. Was I happy with what I read? Yeah, I was.
You're happy with beating a team that's 3-5-1?
Listen, I'll take absolutely anything. That puts us in second place here, so I feel great about that in our small, tiny, terrible little conference. So it's great.
That's pathetic. You beat a shit team like the Eagles, and you're proud.
Hey, that's the beauty of the NFC East. We're all shitheads, but you know what? Someone's got to come out on top.
More like the NFC yeesh. Am I right?
Hey, we got to have something new as opposed to NFC least, right? We got to keep working on it, and we're going to keep workshopping that. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Speaking of figuring it out, if you haven't figured it out yet, our guest this week is Vic Michaelis. You may remember her as a honorary goofball for several weeks during our initial season run as I'm going to say a very reliable co-host at the time as opposed to maybe someone else. But Vic Michaelis back on the show, Giants fan, fantasy football fan, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm playing right now, and I'm first place in my division, which is pretty great.
Whoa! First place alert, Andrew! Ring the cowbell.
Woo, 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 woo,
No, that's not a cowbell.
That was a little bit of a letdown. But you know what? I really can't complain. Basically, my team, I named it the team from New Jersey strictly because Colin.
That's you. That's you in our league. You are the new. I've been wondering this because you don't have your name or anything. Okay.
That's me. So I am beating Andrew Grace in our division. I would love for the record.
Well, all right. Division. It is on the record.
It's on the record. I'll ring the cowbell.
No, still no.
Vic, do you have a cowbell?
Yeah. Zip, zip, zip.
My cowbell. Hey, I'm Christopher Walken here.
Ooh, that's good. Oh, I need more of that. I have a fever, and I need to get tested for COVID.
Well, speaking of mystery illnesses, every week I have a poster that represents our guest behind me, something that is a film, or in this case, a film and a television show, something that represents them. And, the X-Files was filmed in Victoria, BC, and that's our guest this week, Victoria from BC. So am I wrong about that?
But
the BC part, you being there?
Well, I'm just Vic, and I am staying in
that part
Vancouver, proper, but close on both is what I would say. And also Gillian Anderson is my favorite person on the planet. So
hey, The Fall, that was the name of the show, I think.
The Fall? Oh, I haven't seen that one. Sex Education she's currently in. She was just in The Crown.
Oh, okay. I just saw 2 episodes of A Teacher, which does not have Gillian Anderson in it, or Gillian Anderson, but or whatever.
Is it Gillian Anderson?
I think it is Gillian Anderson.
I think it's Gillian.
Is it Gillian? Because maybe I'm reversing it in my brain, though, where I was saying it wrong for a long time.
Some people hear Gillian and some people hear Yanni.
Okay.
I've had I've always struggled to say Jameis or Jameis Winston, and that's only on me. Nobody else does this, I've heard.
I do it with Tom Brady. Is it Tom or is it Ham? I don't know.
The T is not an H, I'll tell you that.
Is it a silent?
Google, really quick, U.S. Magazine said the official Gillian Anderson website says it's pronounced with a soft G, not a hard one. It's Jill, like jam, as opposed to gun. That's the quote.
So it is Gillian.
Yeah,
Gillian.
Their hard G example is gun.
I wonder what's wrong with me. I got that wrong. But every week we do a lock it in segment. If you'll excuse us, Vic, for just a second, we got to get our picks locked in. Every week we choose a division winner or a wild card winner with a confidence number of points. We are on confidence. We got week 8, so this is our 8th week. We got 7 more to go. Johnny, you'll be the first up to lock in a team as either a division or a wild card. Who would you like to lock in as your 8-point confidence?
Well, I've been a little early on some of these picks. For example, second week I picked the Eagles, and the third week I picked the Titans, and fifth week I picked the Seahawks, and none of those are looking particularly good. So I'm going to keep going with my early prediction for division winners, and I'm going to say that the Ravens will not catch up to the Steelers, so I'm going to lock in the Steelers as quickly as I can because I'm running out of better picks.
Locking in the Steelers. He's running out of picks. The Steelers are 9-0. I locked in the Steelers 2 weeks ago. And that's just a note for myself, I suppose.
Good. Oh, good for you.
Good for me. I'm looking at the standings here. I've definitely got there's a lot of teams in the AFC competing for a wild card or a playoff berth. There's not a lot competing in the NFC, but then there are complications in the NFC. Like you don't know who's going to win the South. You don't know who's going to win the West. You don't know who's going to win the East. So it's hard to pick a wild card there. So you're going to have to go out on a limb here. I've already chosen the Ravens as a wild card. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb, I guess, and lock in the Las Vegas Raiders as a wild card team in the AFC, which I'm not feeling that great about because they play the Chiefs this week.
I was thinking about doing the same thing, Kenneth, locking in one of those 3-4 teams for a wild card. And I looked at their schedules just to see like who had the easier schedule. All of them seem to have like 3 wins, and then the rest are maybes or no's. So it's like the Raiders, the Colts, the who's the other one in the mix there? Not the Browns, the Dolphins. Those 3 all have like, Denver, Jacksonville, New York Jets, and then who knows? So it's going to be real tight towards the end.
I'll say that my gut says that the Dolphins will win the AFC East and the Bills will be a wild card, but I'm not going to – that would be kind of a risk to say that the Bills aren't going to win the AFC East at this point. Andrew, who would you like to lock in?
Well, I gotta acknowledge the pirate filter because we can't let a filter go and leave.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I did feel self-conscious about it and switch it to this singular leaf. So
for those listening to the podcast, just audio. Vic, every time you switch a background, just go ahead and mention what you switched to.
Yeah.
Do you just want me to put a hard stop to what's happening?
No, yes. I like it. It adds dimension to, the Zoom tube that we want to get going. So now maybe this will drive traffic towards that.
Okay, so then I think from here on out, let's not mention what the filter is, because you'll have to go find the YouTube link to find out what the filter is exactly.
Oh, just mention that you changed it.
I will mention that I changed it, and we can decide whether we like it or not.
Yeah. Interrupt us, too. Yeah,
of course. Absolutely.
Andrew, who would you like to lock in as your 8-point confidence?
The Colts.
The Colts as a winner.
Going Midwest on us.
You're saying the Colts are going to win the AFC South, just to be clear.
Yep. Old Phillip Rivers coming in. He's not great, but he's got some leadership abilities.
Confidence. Love to see that confidence.
I'm not even sure about the leadership abilities, but
I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm locking them in.
Vic, we've talked about Daniel Jones and Eli Manning of the Giants and reading about them as opposed to watching. Have you watched Giants games this year?
Yeah, I was watching a lot at the beginning of the year. I was back at home, and it's just nice to watch with people who are also fans and can share in my disappointment. And it's harder when there's people that don't care about how bad my bad team is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're not listen, they're bad this year, but they don't look as bad as they actually are, I would argue right now, based on the people that they're playing.
Considering they don't have Saquon Barkley, entertaining. Considering, you know what I mean? Like their games, the games are at least close.
Yeah. I mean, that has been the nice part I think about this season versus maybe last season and the season before. But I mean, like, still not. I don't know. Like I've been watching a lot more Rams games, and like I don't know, that Rams game against the Seahawks this last week was really exciting, and that was like fun, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why football is fun to watch.
Yeah, it's difficult to follow bad teams in sports. I mean, I stopped watching baseball because I'm a Mariners fan, and I don't think that there's anything left to watch there.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. Johnny, how does it feel for yourself to watch, let's see, one of the Philadelphia teams?
Okay, so the Sixers have been underwhelming compared to what they should be, but still super fun to watch because Embiid's great, Simmons is great, and the team is just like energetic and exciting. Phillies, I think I might be done with watching baseball on TV live. I love going to a baseball game, but like it's hard unless there's importance to the game or it's playoffs or something like that. Flyers, I'll still flick on a game, but I'm not a huge fan of the sport. The Eagles are just, it's hard to watch a team that doesn't want to play well, it seems like. Carson Wentz looks like he's throwing balls at receivers' feet to get the game over quicker. And it's like, I'm like, that's the opposite because the clock stops if you make a completion. At least like a 2-yard completion, the clock will go faster and you can
take a sack.
Get back to whatever it is you want to do. That's not when you.
Are you getting fed up with Carson Wentz?
Me? Yeah.
You ready to move on?
Tank for Trevor. Tank for Tua. I honestly think it's not the worst decision in the world to try and package him with something to get up, because we have Jalen Hurts if whoever we draft as a quarterback doesn't pan out. I mean, having like Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields for a couple of years and deciding which one's the franchise quarterback isn't the stupidest plan compared to everything that Doug Peterson and the rest of those jamokes are doing, right?
It does seem like more and more that the Jalen Hurts pick was to maybe secure someone in the bag. Yeah,
security, because like even with his injury, you don't know if he's 100% back physically or mentally. He got his payday, so now what?
I got a question based on something that Johnny brought up here for everybody. Best sport to watch in person and best sport that you've never seen in person, maybe a sporting event like the Masters or the Wimbledon that you would love to go see once in your life. And I'll start with our guest, Vic Michaelis.
Thank you. Absolutely. And here's what I'll start off by saying. Favorite one to watch in person, I think, has got to be football. I really don't think that there's anything like being in a football stadium with all of those people, especially when you're at like I don't know. I guess my big experience has been like Bears games and Giants games, and and I used to go up to Green Bay and we go to that Green Bay stadium, and there just like really isn't an experience. Maybe it also just is because I grew up in the Midwest. It's just like, I don't know, like there really isn't any other feeling than like the crowd at a football game, I don't think. Well, maybe soccer. No, it's football. And then sport I'd like to go see. I mean, maybe this is silly, and not that I'm super pro Olympics at this point in my life, but growing up, I would say like I was obsessed with trying to go like watch some like they're sports. Maybe this isn't quite the same way, but yeah, like I always really wanted to go see some like competitive, some of like the Taekwondo medal matches is something that I've always really wanted to go do. That are like, what is that sport? That's like, what's that sport?
Pickleball.
Highlight.
No, it's yes. Where they go.
Wow.
With it, yeah. Nice.
I saw it on Mad Men, and I thought maybe that'd be fun to go take a peek at. Not because I think it'd be totally interesting and I wouldn't understand the rules, but maybe that'd be part of the fun.
Yeah. I like Highlight because it looks like what if Wolverine's claws were made of wicker and they came out as like one sheet.
Yeah.
Like
I love that.
Yeah.
That's the way to look
like a cheap patio version of Wolverine. Let's inject them with wicker.
That could have been the way the game was pitched. Who knows?
I doubt it.
Speaking of,
I think it's older than the X-Men canon. I think the sport is older than the X-Men canon.
The X-Men goes back to 1950s, so I don't know how old Highlight is.
Definitely.
Probably. Yeah. Speaking of Mad Men, I know Andrew's a little bit angry that he hasn't got a chance to chime in. So what do you think?
Not angry, but I'm just chilling, dude. But yeah, I would say for in person, playoff hockey, like New York Rangers, like I really like, and this is probably like because the Rangers had of all the New York sports teams, I was like kind of went to a few of those games when they were in playoff runs, just seeing Madison Square Garden go all dark and then the lights come on and everyone skates out going 100 miles an hour and just the fighting mixed in with all the craziness of hockey. It's like, holy shit, like, let's go Rangers, But I think baseball, I mean, they all have their own thing though. That's the thing with sports. So I would say most exhilarating in my experience is like a hockey game. Football I love, but sometimes I'm like, I'd rather be watching at home with a big screen so I could see everything. Mm-hmm. Like, unless you have really good seats, it's like kind of like as a student of the game, I'm like, I can't really figure out what's going on. But a sport I would like to see that I haven't really seen much of is football, i.e. soccer. What we in America call soccer and what everyone else calls football. I just finished Ted Lasso, and I was like, you know what? I got to get in this because this is such a cool sport, and I haven't given it enough attention.
It's so fun to go watch those games.
Yeah. I've never seen it myself. Johnny, what's your answers?
Okay. First, I'm going to say this is honorable mention because it's not my favorite thing to watch, but I think it's very underrated, is live tennis, like high-level tennis. Like just when you're there, if you like in the stadium, it's so small, you feel the energy of the
Spoken
match.
like a true homeowner there, John.
tennis monocle, 2 fridges. So that's my honorable mention. But
Is that a garage fridge?
Yes, that's a garage fridge. It's for all the cans. The best thing for me to watch, my favorite, you know me, Kenneth, I'm all about now I'm a homeowner. I'm all for your buck.
I know you.
The best thing to watch is low-level hockey. Either colleges that aren't like Frozen Four regulars or minor league. Because the tickets are cheap. You can get up close. You can get real drunk and no one really gives a shit. In college, I went to University of Arizona. We used to go see the Ice Cats. That's the ice hockey team there, and you can get so close and just yell at the other team's goalie where you can see that you're affecting them emotionally. And that's really what I want out of my dollar, is to affect another human being negatively emotionally and be able to see it. That's what sports is all about. And the thing I would love to see, Jackie and I, my wife, talked about getting into like an obscure sport before the next LA Olympics. So I'm thinking handball. Handball is a fun one because you'll be able to get tickets pretty cheap. That'd be a good one. I also went to go see the Copa America, the South American Cup final in the Meadowlands when it was Chile versus Argentina, and Argentina lost on penalties. It was horrible. It was emotionally just so draining to get that close to winning a big thing that I don't want to do soccer that costs that much money again. It's sad.
My answer is that I don't want to see anything in person. I'd rather be at home, and I would go to the Kentucky Derby. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, horsies.
Oh, you like horsies.
Well, if I had, let's say, $100,000 to bet, that would also help. You know, something to make it exciting.
Yeah.
But it's over so soon, you know. That's the thing. It's just like I feel like I'd be a real bummer. It would be like,
that's great.
What do they call
it? In and out.
Like
that's all I need.
The fastest 2 minutes in sports. What do they call it? Something like
that.
The
worst 2 minutes of your life.
That's the nickname for the Kentucky Derby. The Kentucky Derby. The worst 2 minutes of your life.
Well, should we play a game?
Oh, yes.
Take it easy, War Games.
Should we play a game?
I'm old.
I have a little game that we're going to try out, and this is I guess we're going to call it Lightning Round. And
good name.
Thank you. It will require the honor system as well as a little bit of technical achievements, which is I will ask 10 rapid fire questions to each of you. With the other 2 people must mute your computer so that you do not hear the answers during those rounds. They are only 30 seconds. We have 2 levels. One of them is 10 easy questions and the other one is 10 moderately easy questions. So we're going to see who gets the most points through each level. If that sounds all right to you guys, any questions?
No.
Wow, I've explained this perfectly. So 1 point for me. Also, I could win just as the game host. Who knows?
Whoa, that's cool.
So these are 10 questions that we'll see how you guys do. We can start here with Johnny Schwartzbein.
Okay, and we don't need to mute our they're allowed to listen to me answer questions.
No, they got to not listen to you answer questions because they're the same questions.
Oh, okay, they're the same questions. Okay. So they have
so
to
you
take
mean
out...
you don't mean You don't mean mute like Zoom mute. You mean like TV mute.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to mute your computer, so you can't hear what we're saying.
Yeah.
I understand.
And for those who want to watch the YouTube link, when the 30 seconds is up, I'll make a signal here to our guests that they can unmute their computers and listen again. So that's where the honor system comes in.
Yeah, okay. And Andrew and Vic, just give us a thumbs up when you're like completely muted and you can't hear us.
All right, okay. Easy.
Here we go.
So, man, those two are fucking assholes, right?
So trippy.
I fucking hate those two so much. Yeah,
I'm gonna mute myself. Be quiet.
I can't hear you.
I can. Yeah, that's the good part. Okay, so I'm gonna increase it here to 45 seconds, and because I think that's how much time we need. So it's gonna be. I know it's just for you, and I'll tell them when it's their turn. But
okay.
45 seconds on the clock, Johnny, and in 3, 2,
okay,
1.
Here we go, Johnny. Come on.
These brothers were picked first overall.
Manning.
Who won the first Super Bowl?
Packers.
Who won the second Super Bowl?
Packers.
Who won the third Super Bowl? Hint: Joe Namath.
Jets.
What team did Vince Lombardi coach?
Packers.
What is the name of the Green Bay Stadium?
Lambeau Field.
Where did the Rams play prior to playing in St. Louis?
Los Angeles.
Who was the first overall pick in the 2019 draft?
2019. Pass.
Who did Kyler Murray follow at college as a Heisman winner and as the number 1 pick?
Oklahoma. Sam Bradford. Ooh.
And time.
That wave isn't working because the green screen.
Yeah, well, that's so there you go. Johnny's round has happened. So I won't say anything else. Johnny, don't say anything else there.
Am I allowed to listen now that I heard the questions?
Listen now that you've heard the questions, but
okay.
Obviously you won't chime in.
I won't fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we get Vic back here. Vic, just so you know, Andrew and Vic, I've increased the time to 45 seconds.
Yeah, it was a good idea.
And yeah, we wouldn't have had enough time. So 45 seconds. If you immediately want to pass, just say pass. And I will go next. She was so confident. Let's go to Vic next. How does that sound?
Great.
And just so you know, just to go with your instincts.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the time Andrew, it goes quick.
Andrew, right. Mute yourself again here. Mute your computer.
Goodbye to everyone again.
We'll be back soon. He muted his microphone, but I hope he muted his computer. So,
so I'm just so you know, I'm already worried about this. So my plan is I'm just going to answer as quickly as possible. And what do I got to do to be the winner?
Be funny.
Okay.
Do your best. Do your best. Yeah, go with your gut. Make it quick.
Can we just tell them that I won? Would they know otherwise?
Well, I think Johnny has listened in.
Yeah, I'm listening because I heard the questions.
Great.
I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And that, of course, was a joke. Hi, Johnny.
Well, hey, that's 1 point already because I said be funny.
I love that.
So Vic gets a bonus point already. I'm adding that to Vic's total, and the more she makes me laugh, the more points she gets.
Great.
Starting here, your 45 seconds begins.
Great.
Right. Now, these brothers were picked first overall.
Pass.
Who won the first Super Bowl?
Pass.
Who won the second Super Bowl?
The Giants.
Wrong. Who won the third Super Bowl? Hint: Joe Namath. Close enough. What team did Vince Lombardi coach?
The Giants.
Ooh, maybe. What is the name of the Green Bay Stadium?
You know, it's the Giants Stadium.
The Giants Stadium. All right, Vic is killing it. What is the first? Who was the first overall pick in the 2019 draft?
Mr. Giant himself, Joe Giant.
Joe Giant. Who did Kyler Murray follow at college as a Heisman and as the number 1 pick?
Andre the Giant.
And what does Super Bowl XL stand for?
Super Bowl. Hey, come on, folks. Say it with me. Giant.
Giant. And wow, that was one of the best rounds that we've had so far.
Thank you.
That was very bad.
Yeah, I mean, don't say that I won before Andrew even gets a shot. Give Andrew a shot, and then you can tell them that I won.
I mean, it was funny, but it wasn't funny enough to negate all my correct answers, was it?
We'll see how many. We'll see what the total is. I can't really add up things at this time yet. So.
Okay, now let's all listen to Andrew while he fucking wrecks it.
Can't wait.
Gonna destroy.
Andrew, you're gonna do great. Now there's two. Apparently there's two strategies here. One is correct and one is funny. So do your best. These are 10 easy questions. You got 45 seconds on the clock. Beginning now. These brothers were both picked first overall.
Manning brothers.
Who won the first Super Bowl?
Charles Schwab.
Who won the second Super Bowl?
J.P. Morgan.
Who won the third Super Bowl? Hint, Joe Namath.
TD Bank.
Which team did Vince Lombardi coach?
Marcus and Millichap Commercial Real Estate Firm.
What is the name of the Green Bay Stadium?
Money.
Where did the Rams play prior to St. Louis?
Headbutt Land.
Who is the first overall pick in the 2019 draft?
Justin Bieber.
Time. Well, you got the Manning brothers. Nailed it.
Yeah, I started off with one traditional golf shot, and then I just started doing tricks.
Some of those were very easy that you knew.
I know.
And you said money.
I actually knew that first one, but I got so scared about the time that I immediately said pass.
It's literally the one he started with so that each of you would get a point.
But I already started with a point. So I already
I forgot about that. Yeah.
We can do the second round here as a open forum of the first person to chime in with either the correct or funny answer. How does that sound?
Good. And no using your Google, Andrew. Forgot to say that. No cheating.
Really the fastest Googler on the planet.
So we don't get a point update?
Johnny has 8 points. Johnny has 8 points for his first round. He didn't get to the last question. Would you have been able to answer what does Super Bowl XL stand for?
Yeah, extra large.
You would have, yeah. Who did Kyler Murray follow at college as a Heisman and his number one pick? Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, yeah.
And he was also the first overall pick in the 2019 draft.
Yeah,
actually,
I went so old.
So actually, I miscounted. That's 7 for Johnny. Andrew, he had one real answer and
like 2 funny ones.
I'm gonna say it laughed 3 times.
Okay.
And Vic had one. Oh wait, no, Vic didn't get an answer right.
But I got a point earlier.
You go. That's right. That's why there was a point. You got one earlier point, and then say Giants again.
Giants.
And 4 extra points. So there you go.
Yeah.
It is 7, 4, and 5. Let's see who.
Did the Packers win the first 2 Super Bowls?
They did.
Okay.
And then that's when. Well, actually, we'll get to it a little bit, but. That's when we sort of actually, I'll tell you right now, that's when after the Packers won the first 2 Super Bowls, they were in the NFL and there was an AFC, and the AFC was considered like the ABA of football. Is just not a small league that wasn't supposed to compete. And then in Super Bowl III, that's when Joe Namath came along with the Jets, said, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Everyone said, you're ridiculous. They won the Super Bowl. And that's when the 2 leagues merged and said, hey, maybe these guys can compete with each other. That's how you got the AFC and the NFC.
What about the CFL?
CFL was incorporated just last year, and that is where we got the Eagles.
Right, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Division leading Eagles.
That's right. So these are 10 moderately easy, but actually probably not that easy now that I'm rethinking this questions. But first person to chime in with an answer, and then I'll make, or you can all just, let's see who does it. 10 easy, moderately questions. We got 60 seconds on the clock now. And go. True or false? Russell Wilson's dad played in the NFL.
False.
Oh, man, that's perfect right there. True or false? Andrew Luck's dad played in the NFL.
False.
True.
Who said true?
I did.
Me. I did.
Oh, Vic did. Okay, that's one for Vic.
No, that's false.
In what round was Tom Brady drafted?
6.
First.
Oh, Johnny, you got it. I got to give that one to Johnny.
The first of the 7th round.
The first of the 7th round. It was the 6th round. Where did the Rams? Where did the Rams play prior to playing in Los Angeles for the first time?
Des Moines.
Ooh, correct. No, it's Cleveland, but that's the only answer. So that is correct. Which team most recently switched from the AFC to the NFC?
Las Vegas.
Cardinals.
All wrong. Andrew?
Houston.
The Seahawks. It's going to be Las Vegas for Vic, though, because that is something relevant. Which team won 4 Super Bowls in the 70s?
Steelers.
Giants.
Oh, man. Everybody gets half a point except
I said it first. Why does Andrew get half
Johnny
a point?
gets 1. Vic gets a half.
Thank you.
Which came first, the AFC or the NFC?
AFC.
The egg.
I just explained that it was the NFC with the Super Bowl. Remember?
Give me
I
a
wanted
point
to
for
make
the
sure Andrew
Steelers,
got a
too,
point. I wanted to make sure Andrew got a point on the board.
All right.
Yeah.
Andrew. You
And for
got
the
1
Steelers,
point.
dude.
You
Don't
got 2 points.
shortchange me.
And I want a point just because.
Okay, well, that's not going to happen. Okay, we'll see if there can be a catch-up here. Actually, Vic is in the lead. Which team did Jim Fossil lose a Super Bowl with?
Pass.
It's the Giants, Vic. It was the Giants.
I said Giants.
I didn't know it.
He passed the one time that the answer was the Giants.
I at least get half a point because I said Giants right before
You get 2 points because of Vic passing.
No.
Who won the NFC West with a 7-9 record in 2010?
Oh, that's
Giants.
the Niners.
It wasn't the Niners. It was
Seahawks.
the
the
Seahawks.
Seahawks,
Oh, Andrew, you get a point.
Oh.
So we have I have one more question, and the total points right here now, because the time doesn't matter anymore. Vic has 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
That's huge for me.
Impossible.
Johnny has
There hasn't been 14 questions.
Johnny has 11.
That's ridiculous.
Andrew has
Be a
7.
good sport. Be a good loser, Johnny.
I should be the division winner.
This is a 3-point question. Who leads the NFL in rushing yards right now?
Dalvin Cook.
Wow, Johnny, you got it.
All
That's a tie.
my stat. You know what? I'll take it because it'll get me into the playoffs in the NFC East.
Andrew has to come up with the tiebreaker question now.
How many times did Johnny Unitas say I need to go to TD Bank to get my card?
111.
There you
And
go.
that's it.
Giants.
We're out of time. This thing is about to cut off. We'll be right back with the next segment.
Woo!